What if I told you that one of the most iconic families in television history made their debut not with a bang, but with a Christmas crisis? Before the catchphrases, before the guest stars, before the global phenomenon, there was just a yellow skinned dad, a dream, and a dog named Santa's Little Helper. Today, we're diving into the very first full length episode of The Simpsons, a humble holiday tale that introduced the world to Springfield's most dysfunctional family. This isn't just a Christmas special, it's the birth of a cultural revolution. Let's rewind to December 17th, 1989, and unwrap the episode that started it all: Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. Before we get into the episode itself, let's set the stage. The Simpsons didn't begin as a full-fledged sitcom. The characters originally appeared as animated shorts on The Tracy Ullman Show, starting in 1987. These crude, rough sketches captured enough attention that Fox took a gamble and ordered a standalone series. And so, in late 1989, the world was introduced to a new form of animated television, one that wasn't made just for kids. Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire was supposed to be the 8th episode of the season, but due to animation delays, it aired first. Ironically, that twist of fate worked in its favor. A holiday episode is always a good hook, especially when it's wrapped in humor, heartache, and a generous helping of satire. This episode also helped set the tone for the kind of show The Simpsons would be, one that could blend absurd comedy with genuine emotion. It's also worth noting that the animation is a bit rougher, the voice is slightly different, and the pacing slower than later episodes. But what it lacks in polish, it makes up for in charm and historical significance. The episode opens with the Simpson family attending Springfield Elementary's annual Christmas pageant. Right away, we get introduced to key characters. Lisa performs a culturally diverse holiday dance in a South Pacific outfit, while Bart delivers an intentionally off-key rendition of Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, a classic schoolyard joke that became forever associated with the character. This scene sets a tone that feels both familiar and fresh. It's a family event, full of chaos, awkward performances, and parental pride, or in Homer's case, mild indifference. It's also a moment that humanizes the family. Marge beams with pride, Homer is distracted, and Grandpa Simpson falls asleep in the audience. It's not a perfect family, and that's what made them so relatable. Back at home, the Christmas season is in full swing. Marge is carefully budgeting the family's Christmas fund, stashing it away for gifts and holiday cheer. Meanwhile, Homer discovers that he won't be getting his Christmas bonus, a crucial plot point that launches the entire story into motion. Here's where things get real. Most TV families in the late 80s were idealized, upper middle class, with neatly resolved problems. But The Simpsons were different. Homer's stress is palpable. Without the bonus, he can't provide a proper Christmas for his family. But instead of telling Marge, he quietly begins planning how to make up the shortfall. And just when things couldn't get worse, Bart decides to get a tattoo. In one of the episode's most iconic scenes, Bart enters a tattoo parlor to get Mother etched onto his arm. Marge intervenes just in time, but not without consequences. She's forced to use the entire Christmas fund to have the tattoo removed. Now, both parents are hiding something. Marge believes Homer still has the bonus, and Homer thinks Marge still has the money. It's a classic case of miscommunication, one that spirals into holiday chaos. In a desperate attempt to save Christmas, Homer secretly takes a job as a mall Santa. These scenes are some of the funniest in the episode, watching Homer awkwardly interact with kids, trying to maintain the illusion while internally panicking. One particularly great moment comes when Bart, snooping around, pulls off Santa's beard, only to reveal his own father underneath. The shock is hilarious, but what follows is even better. A surprisingly tender father-son moment where Homer confesses his situation to Bart. Instead of mocking his dad, Bart sticks by him. This early scene lays the groundwork for one of the show's most enduring themes. Despite their flaws, the Simpsons are there for each other. This leads them to one last desperate idea: betting Homer's meager mall Santa paycheck at the dog track. It's a long shot, but Homer is clinging to hope, and Bart is right there with him. At the dog track, Homer places all his money on a dog with a festive name, Santa's Little Helper. Of course, in true Simpsons fashion, the dog loses, badly. It's a gut punch. Christmas seems ruined. Homer's broke, ashamed, and ready to face the family with empty hands. But then a twist. Santa's little helper, having been abandoned by his cruel owner, runs straight into Homer and Bart's arms. Despite losing the bet, they leave with something unexpected, a dog. And that's where the magic happens. When they return home, the family, initially shocked, erupts into joy. The dog is more than a pet, he's a symbol. A reminder that Christmas isn't about presents or bonuses or picture-perfect holidays. It's about love, family, and sticking together when things fall apart. The episode closes on a heartwarming note. The Simpsons, broke but happy, gathered around their new dog, singing Christmas carols. It's not a perfect ending, but it's perfectly them. What makes this episode truly special isn't just that it's the first, it's how it quietly redefined what an animated sitcom could be. Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire isn't just a Christmas episode. It's a story about economic anxiety, miscommunication, and the small, meaningful wins that define family life. It's about a dad who's trying, a mom who's stretched thin, and kids who are more than just jokes or punchlines. This episode established key dynamics that would evolve over the years. Homer's flawed heroism, Marge's quiet strength, Bart's rebelliousness, and Lisa's precocious wisdom. Even Maggie, silent as always, is there sucking her pacifier in the background, absorbing it all. The introduction of Santa's little helper added another emotional anchor. This wasn't just a dog, it was a beacon of hope, a last-minute miracle in a sea of disappointment. The rough animation, slightly off-kilter voices, and slow pacing all serve as reminders of where this show started. And yet, all the ingredients for greatness were already there. The humor, the heart, the satire, the cultural resonance. When this episode aired, no one could have predicted that The Simpsons would become the longest-running primetime scripted series in American television history. But the seeds were planted here, in a story about a working-class dad doing his best and a family finding joy even in failure. This wasn't just the beginning of The Simpsons. It was the beginning of a new kind of storytelling on TV, funny, flawed, and deeply human. Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire gave us the first real look at America's favorite animated family, and even now, decades later, it still resonates. If you've never seen it or haven't watched in years, do yourself a favor and revisit it. It's the perfect blend of humor and heart, and a reminder that even the worst Christmas can turn into something unforgettable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what was your favorite part of the very first Simpsons episode? Or better yet, what would you name your racing dog?